Namaskar. Good afternoon to everyone. I am Bhavani Sohoria, Head of the Department of Philosophy, Moridhal College, and convener of the webinar. Welcome you all in our virtual platform. Really, it's our profound privilege to have all the lovers of wisdom with us in this one-day national webinar platform. We, the professionals, are merging in a very crucial time, like other wings of society. So, it's the time to redefine our responsibilities towards our respective domain. With this view in mind, we, the Department of Philosophy and IQAC Moridhal College, Dhemaji, Assam, in collaboration with LISPA, organizing this webinar on the very relevant topic, redefining professional ethics amidst COVID-19 pandemic. We are fortunate enough to have with us two eminent personalities with insightful vision to point out the right direction so that we can make our professional life meaningful in this pandemic situation too. You are also welcome, sir. Last, our Honorable Principal Sir, Chairperson of the Organizing Committee of the webinar, request to inaugurate the session. Please, sir, deliver your valuable inaugural address.
Respected keynote addressee, Professor T.P. Sasikumar sir, resource person, Professor Islam sir, learned participants, moderator, technical support personnel, and other members of the organizers. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to Moridhal College and the national level webinar organized by Department of Philosophy and IQAC of this college in collaboration with the Library and Information Science Professional Association. I also declare that today's national webinar on redefining the professional ethics amidst COVID-19 pandemic is formally inaugurated. With these few words, I would like to conclude, and once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all to the renowned resource person and keynote addressee and other learned participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now, may I request to our keynote speaker, Dr. T.P. Sasikumar sir, to deliver his valuable keynote address. Before that, I would like to introduce him in front of you. Really, I am speechless, as I don't know from where to start and what to represent, as my words are less than his personalities. I feel blessed, sir, you have in this webinar platform with us. Still, I proceed. Dr. T.P. Sasikumar sir is a space scientist, spiritual director, motivational speaker, and educationist, as well as the writer of the most influential book, Freedom of Life, Life Made Simple, Life of Love, etc. Formerly, he was the director of UGC Academic Staff College, Calicut University, Kerala, and Deputy Director of Directorate General of Security, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, New Delhi. Advanced Data Processing Research Institute, Hyderabad, remains the scientist and all other things. He is now trained lots of teachers and students. So once again, I welcome you, sir, and feel blessed that you are with us in this platform. So please welcome, sir.
Namaskaram to all of you. Thank you for the nice words, my brothers and sisters.
Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Think I am audible?
Yes, sir. You are able.
So it's a beautiful initiative by the philosophy department of the college. Though in the digital world there is nothing called a remote and city. Every place is a digital city. Your home becomes your world, or the world becomes your home. The redefining professional ethics during COVID. I remember in the March-April month, when the COVID became too high, people were thinking about post-COVID. Now people started thinking we are in the beginning or the mid of COVID. Because the hope that COVID is going to wind up by itself is not that easily done. Like a lot of people, we are in a conversation of facing ethical decisions about our daily life. Now this platform is talking about a professional life. That's only the difference. I don't know whether there is a real difference between a professional life and a personal life now, because it's all getting mixed up. Earlier there was a place you had to go and work, conduct yourself professionally, but I think at home also you'll have to do a professional life, because your home itself is your office. Your personal life itself became your professional life. But anyway, anyone who is in life, either as a person who is living inside or outside, for every one of us, learning has become part of our daily activity. Earlier I used to say LIFE, life is live in full enjoyment and learn in full enjoyment. Now I don't see them as different, because every moment we have to learn a lot. Enjoyment is what is sukham. I happens to be from the department of space. Space in Sanskrit is called kham. So prefix su, it becomes sukham. And prefix du, it becomes dukham. These are only two parts of the two sides of the same coin. It all depends on how do you perceive it. Tad bhava, tad bhavati. Yad bhava, yad bhavati. Tad bhava, tad bhavati. What you think is what will happen. When Sri Rama was mostly unhappy after his pre-university education, +1, +2, the teenage, as most of the teenagers have problems, especially with the generation gap. With their parents, they don't cope very well. They find there is a difference in the generation. As any teen-age person, Rama was also unhappy. He was always telling, my father is not good. That is where Dasharatha sent Rama to Vasishtha. Vasishtha gave 18 days of classes, and that lessons are called Yoga Vasishtha. In that there is a beautiful sloka. The crux of the sloka, if you want, you can call it. Purne manasi sampurnam. Purne manasi sampurnam. It's all as you see the world is. You see the world is good, the world is good. If you see the world is bad, the world is bad. Rama, you have this problem. You think that Ayodhya is not very good, your father is not good, because that is how you are looking at the world around you. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. The whole world looks like that for you. Assume all the places where I walk, I want a leather carpet. Is it that simple to get a leather carpet? All the places where I walk? Vasishtha says it is very simple to have a leather carpet wherever you walk. You can wear a leather footwear. Put a shoe which is leather. So wherever you walk, you will see leather. So you want happiness everywhere, you have to carry happiness inside. The professionalism, the trouble, the ethics, everything has to be carried by you. So your life, either it is professional or personal, it will become as you think it is for you. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi upana gudapadasya. Upana gudapadasya. What you wear in your feet. Upana gudapadasya nanu charmastrutaiva bhubuhu. That is how the whole bhumi, the earth will look for you. I am 100% sure. All the philosophy people are so courageous because there is only one set of people in the world who can ask question to anything, and that is philosophy. Earlier, before I started reading little bit on my philosophy, I am a dropout of MA philosophy. I registered for MA philosophy and the day of examination I couldn't attend. Then I thought that is not my cup of tea, so I left my philosophy. Otherwise, I would have had an MA philosophy also to sit with you as a philosophy person. So I am a learner of philosophy, but without a degree in philosophy. I remember my learning the philosophy and ethics. The beliefs in deity is philosophy. The medical ethics can be a parallel to that, because some people will pray and the other people will practice. The science and religion can be philosophy, then ethics can be the human relations. The life after death can be philosophy, the equality can be the ethics. The religion, reason, revelation, all can be philosophy. The peace and justice can be ethics. The good and evil can be philosophy. The wealth and poverty can be. It's actually whether it is conflicting or two part of the coin, or we have to see them together. That is why probably the ethics itself become part of learning, because every police department is not police department. The police department has thief also inside them. Though they are fighting each other, they have to survive together only. If no bad people are there, there are no good people. So what is that philosophy and ethics all about? The philosophy and ethics have the courage to ask questions on anything and everything around you. I am sure that is what is philosophy is. So with that courage, I am sure every person who is in philosophy or ethics will start asking, could you have philosophy and ethics together? Because you have the courage to ask question, you could ask this. Like a police can ask why thief, the thief can ask why police. So I am sure this is a beautiful topic and there is a great speaker who is going to speak on that. My job is only opening, and I don't know why I am given 30 minutes. It should be only 10 minutes or 5 minutes. The key speaker should have more time. The content is given by him. The job is only open the key, and I am sure the key is working fine. It should open faster. The COVID situation relating to the ethics. In the COVID situation, what is to be done? The clinical, the social distancing, the priority setting, what is to be done in the right situation at the right time for the right people. I always keep saying, where, when, what, why, how, who, for whom you do. That determines probably your value system, wisdom, ethics, and all that. It is not equality everywhere that will work. I'm sure there is a great set of people who is working, or the team of people under WHO, to think about ethics during COVID, because it has created a lot of confusion. The dilemmas during any pandemic, this happens. The moral dilemmas will be there. What is to be done? Because if I do something, what will happen? I am not able to trammel up the consequences. I cannot put them into my own control because consequences are not by me. What we call as freedom is actually stuck by the government, which is not really normal all the time. It is totally unprecedented. Probably something quite new for every one of us. The consequentialism, the different accounts in which what is to be maximized, minimized, whether relation has to be kept or not to be kept, all these are in confusion. Everybody's welfare, well-being, happiness, pleasure, utility, everything is stuck. So we don't know where to go and what to do. In such a situation, how a good professional can perform well is a good question to be addressed. What are the ethics which are to be adjusted? I'm sure that today's speaker is going to elaborate on that. The consequence-based ethics, the outcome of that. What is the idealized situation? What is ideal during a pandemic? As an ethical character, when you involve in the society, though it is digitally, though it is virtually, now today world has become as we are in the normal society. So this becomes the new normal. We don't have to say that this is a different situation. In every company, every MNC company, these webinar talking together, there are boss and subordinates who have never met because they all worked in virtual field only. So what are the principles based on the ethics, rules, codes, standards in the professional field? That is what from the so-called professional, where we consider MNCs are professional, other people are normal, local, village style, nation style, country style. Now everybody has become equal. So all of us are supposed to learn how to behave in that situation. What are the ethics? What to do? What not to do? This is the problem. And I'm sure nobody is going to come and tell us. We have to go and ask. Udyamenaiva siddhyandi karyani na manorathai nihi suptasya simhasya pravishyandi mukhe mrigaha. No lion will get its meat at its cave step. People will not come and give you. You have to go and hunt. I think today the profession itself, the learning itself, the life itself has become so agile, so active only for those people who hunt for opportunities. It's like earlier, all our system, let it be a college teaching or learning, let it be any professional situation where we are involved in, we were like a plate mills company. We have to go and sit there, somebody will get the file to us, the plate is given, somebody will keep on putting items, we have to eat. Something will come to us. I am sure such people have no place in this world now. Now it has become like a buffet dinner. You have got a lot of counters, you will have to go and choose what you want and then search everywhere, fill up yourself. Your requirement should be met by you hunting for things. Things will not come to you. So this great saying from our Vani, the Samskrita Vani, today is a Sanskrit day. Great messages, great quotations from the tradition is what we have learned and then gave a lot of courage to us. It says, Udyamenaiva siddhyandi. Just by thinking I want, I will not get anything. Karyani na manorathai. Action will not happen by thinking. Nehi suptasya simhasya pravishyanti mukhe mrigaha. You have to hunt for that. You have to jump into action. Udyamenaiva siddhyanti. No thinking around, sitting quiet will make you things happen. So I'm sure all of you should go into a job, profession, create your every moment in your life with full of activities. That is what is to be done. But during that time, there could be conflict because the life and the profession will not have differences. The business is at home. Earlier people would go out for business. The profession, business, life versus ethics, there could be a lot of conflict. That's quite natural because everything is put in one basket. You don't know what to segregate, where to segregate. So everyone will have this problem. The traditional dharma, where, when, what, why, which I keep on telling, that for each self becomes a loga dharma now. So get that in the spiritual world. Probably there could be a lot of answers. The Indian spirituality has always given a self-elevation to a realization where we understand everyone's job. That is what one of the best contributions of the Bharatiya, Vedic, Sanskrit literature. When we live in this world, we are not here permanent. Maximum as per India's today's statistics, maybe 80, 85, 90 years, that's it. So during that time, we depend on many people. There is a great saying, when every one of us at the end will go to the graveyard, depends on the custom and the position of people, which firewood will burn us, what are the oils which are poured into that may change based on the money which you earned, the position which you earned, the people around you. Otherwise, all of us will burn one day. During that time, there is a great mantra to be chanted. Vayuranilam amritamadedam bhasmandam shariram om krutosmara krutam smarami. This is what a son is supposed to ask the father. Every son has got a right to fire his father at the end. All parents have got right to fire their children while living, but then the child will have a chance to fire the father. The last fire is that time, before firing, the son is supposed to ask the father, Vayuranilam amritamadedam bhasmandam shariram. Oh father, I am going to fire you and you will become ashes. Bhasmandam. Vayuranilam amritamadedam. Little part will join into the air also. What is that you have done in your life? Om kruto smarami, kridam smarami. 3 times they have to ask. 100% sure this dead body is not going to give an answer. Still, why we follow that ritual? The reason is, each one of us have to ask ourselves, what is that we are doing in our life? If that answer cannot be given, if we are not that value-based, wisdom-based, professional in our life, whatever education we got, that cannot be turned into a good experience. Many people live in this world, but they are not able to convert that purposeful, fruitful, for the family, for the society, for the nation, as an individual, in thoughts, actions and goals. They are not able to make it a good experience. People don't tell good stories. So I'm sure if you don't convert this in our professional and personal life, both are required. I think there is no difference between professional and personal. If we live with closing your eyes thinking that it is dark, it is not the right thing to do. It is not light outside alone. Outside is very good. That doesn't help you. Rules are written down. We know what is required in the society, how to behave. But if it doesn't happen, the inner eye is not open to see them, I'm sure the whole life becomes purposeless. It is not power and position It is not the profession what you get makes you to do good things. Mahabharata has got a great lesson through Duryodhana. Duryodhana and Dharmaputra studied in same college under same professor, under the same philosophy principle, only taught them what is philosophy of life. But those lessons did not go to both students in the same style. Though they come from same family, that also did not affect them. Because they are from the same palace, cousin brothers only. But that did not change their fate. Dharmaputra became good, Duryodhana became bad. Dharmaputra became good because he had Krishna's company. Duryodhana became bad because he had Shakuni's company. I am sure every mother feels unhappy because of the unethical professional activity which Duryodhana did, which caused great harm to the whole community. Every mother is unhappy when their children are bad. Fathers are mostly blind. That is why the powerful king as a blind person depicted. Otherwise, story would have been written like a person who has got good eyesight. Most of the people, when they get into power and position, they are blind. Sometimes the close attachment to profession will make them so blind, they have no time to look at their children. Therefore, when you are in dark, if husband doesn't have eyesight, it is wife who has to open the eyes. But they become so close related, love is 100% matching with them. Gandhari also closed her eyes. Both husband and wife is in darkness. I am sure they will produce 100 children. And this is headed by Duryodhana. What happened? Janami dharmam. When Gandhari asked a question, why Duryodhana, why you are not doing good things? Look at your cousin brothers. They are so wonderful. Why you are not like this? Immediately the answer came from Duryodhana. Every person who violates rules, dharma, ethics, value system, wisdomless people get immediate answer to justify their business. Duryodhana immediately gave an answer to mother, but that was one of the best answers probably. Janami dharmam. I know what is dharma. Nachame pravritti. I am not able to do it. That is how most of us are. We know what is to be done, but we are not able to do it. Janamya dharmam. I know what is adharmam, what should not be done. Nachame nivritti. I am not able to stop doing it. Why? Kena api kamena hridistidena yada niyuktosi tatha karomi. My kamam, my desire, uncontrollable desire, is asking me to do something. So blindly I am doing it. What a great situation, what a bad situation, which created a lot of harm to the society. That is why Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita told, Uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Your enemy is in you, your friend is in you. I am sure that realization doesn't come to us. We are not going to be ethical. We are not going to be with high wisdom. Whatever we do, either in personal life or professional life, is going to harm in the society. Generally, when you are an action person in society like academics, ruling, judging, administration, politics, all of them should have this professional ethics. And it needs to be changed geographically, place to place, time to time. Therefore, this topic is a wonderful topic to be discussed, not discussed, understood by everyone who is attending, to strengthen individual ethics, family ethics, society ethics, professional ethics, state ethics, national ethics, and international ethics. The whole world. Then only I can say I am in the Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. Otherwise, what is the point in telling and then we don't show that? So, the dharma, which is always we say we are in Sanatana Dharma. Sanatanam is Nitya Nutanam, the most modern, which is valid today at this moment, which is applicable, to the Chirapuradhanam, the oldest of the oldest. Morning I had a great session on Indian scientific heritage, being Sanskrit Day. That was a 3 days workshop. I was looking at the tradition of Bharatiya Shastram. I'm sure now what we are discussing is the most modern problems which we have. So I'm blessed being invited, asked me to share my few thoughts. Maybe my chavi, the key happens to be little older and the lock happens to be so powerful, I had to use more time. Probably the organizer must have thought I require more time to open it. I was given time up to 3:15 as per schedule. It is 3:14. I am eagerly waiting for the speaker and elaborations on his views and a lot of questions probably which can reflect everyone's thought, and we will have a good dialogue. I'm sure the time is continuing, therefore these discussions will keep continuing. Namaskaram to all of you, my pranams. It's a great occasion for me. Thank you, my dear sister, who made me to come here and invited me to talk. It's only a month back we were in acquaintance during some other webinar. It's a great initiative which made me to reach here, the coordinators, and especially the Babani who invited me to talk to you. Pranams to each one of you. Namaskaram. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor K. Kumar, sir. Actually, we are blessed by listening your clear speech. We think that we are going on and on to listen your speech and motivate ourselves to do our profession. Really, sir, COVID-19 pandemic has paralyzed the whole social system, the mankind and different professions, whether it be industrial sector, science sector, technological sector, agricultural sector, service sector, all the professions are now being faced by threats and challenges in the way of playing professional roles as per professional commitment and accountability. So in a very short span of time, you have addressed so many things. You have addressed the professional life, daily life, and how daily life becomes professional life. And truly you raised the very basic questions. What are the ideals? What are the ethical principles that all the professions should follow in this pandemic situation? Sir, we are very grateful to you, sir. Your resourceful and thought-provoking speech will certainly motivate all the professions, all of us, all the academicians, thought about our professions, what we have to do, not only on the thinking stage, how we can make it pragmatic. Really, sir, this speech will motivate us to practice all the ethical principles in our professional life, and the issues you have raised, the ideas, the ethical principles, this will be, we hope that all these things will be deliberated in this session. Thank you very much, sir. We are very grateful, and we think that, we expect that we will listen your valuable, motivating speech in future also. We are very eager to hear your valuable speech, sir. Thank you once again, sir.